today of buyer's remorse on President Obama's health care law from members of his own party. Several Democratic lawmakers expressing doubts about the timing of the president's signature bill. Wisconsin Republican Ron Johnson is on the Senate Budget Committee. He has been calling for the repeal of the health care law, has been very outspoken against it, and he joins us with his assessment of some of this morning. Good morning, Senator Johnson. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Martha. Thanks for having me on.
You know, it's really interesting when you look at some of the names associated with this, Jim Webb, Barney Frank, and others, Brad Miller, a Democrat from North Carolina, Dennis Cardoza, a Democrat from California, all of them in, very similar tones, basically saying that they think it may have been a mistake for the president to take on health care when he did, and that they have real concerns about its electoral ramifications for their party.
Well, you're right. They do have buyer's remorse. I guess what they should have done is read the 2,700 pages before they rammed it through in a very partisan basis. And by the way, now if they really want to know what the health care law is going to do, they have to read 15,000 pages because we've added more than 12,000 pages to that 2,700-page document. Now, Martha, this is going to be a disaster if the health care law actually gets implemented. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that the Supreme Court rules it unconstitutional and throws the entire law out so that we can actually work toward real solutions, just the modest bills, the smaller bills that actually fix the problem.
When you look at electoral politics and you go back to the 2010, I should say, midterm election, what kind of indications do we have from that health care may indeed become an issue that's very problematic for the president in the general election as well?
Well, certainly, Martha, this was the issue that prompted me to run for the United States Senate. This is very dear to my heart. I actually attended all 4 hearings of the Supreme Court because it is such an important issue, not only to me, but to this nation. And let's face it, I think Americans understand that the federal government is simply not capable of taking over 1/6 of our economy and running our health care. I mean, what is an independent payment advisory board other than a rationing board? We're bankrupting this nation. People understand that you can't add 30 million people more in terms of insurance and not add one dime to the deficit. They certainly understand that this president didn't bend the cost curve down. We're not going to reduce, as this president promised, family coverage by $2,500 a year. It's already up $2,200. So Obamacare is just a series of broken promises. Really, this administration is nothing but a series of broken promises.
When you look at, sort of the lay of the land as we move forward here, how problematic do you think it would be, or would it be advantageous, as Harry Reid and Jim Carville have argued, if indeed the Supreme Court shoots down the mandate in the health care bill?
No matter what the Supreme Court rules, I don't think the Democrats get an advantage. If the law is struck down as unconstitutional, shame on the president, shame on the Democrats for pushing through an unconstitutional law. If it stands, again, this is a very unpopular bill because Americans understand what a disaster it will be if it's implemented. So, no, this issue is bad for the Democrats. People like Democratic Senator Jim Webb are understanding that. That's why they have that. That's why they're expressing that buyer's remorse.
Well, you've got 40-something% of Americans who like the law. About 11 or 12%, I think, like it with absolutely no changes. So we'll see where this goes from here. Interesting take on it. Senator Johnson, always good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on.